Today I'm going to go through cutting and assembling the tuxedo card. This one I'm doing in a Christmas theme, so I have gone ahead and changed up the colors of the mats and layers here to make it a little bit easier to figure out my paper. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on Make It, and it brings me to the mats. And one of the things that you're going to find when you're working with things, you're always wondering, why is it that it has taken these two pieces and separated them on different mats? And they could obviously fit on the same mat. When you click on this piece, and it's actually more obvious on this one, if I click on here, you see that it forms a box all the way around it. What the program sees is that this piece is the entire box. So nothing can lay inside of that box. And so here we have the same situation. But visually, we can tell that it will work. So we're going to grab a hold of this. I'm just going to slide it to the bottom of the mat. I'm going to go to the second mat and click on the item. Then I'm going to click on the three dots in the upper left-hand corner and click Move to another mat. I'm going to select mat 1 and hit Continue. Now I need to reposition this so that it will work. And I'm going to grab the rotate arrow and I'm going to spin that around 180 degrees. And I'm going to try to get it so that it is pretty much square. Now you can see it fits perfectly on this side of the design, and we've saved quite a bit of paper. So that one is ready to go, and when we hit continue, this empty mat will go away. Now I'm going to go to this off-white mat. Now I'm working with a paper that was in a specialty pad from Die Cuts with a View, and this paper is actually 6 inches wide and it is 8 inches long, and the closest one I have here to choose from is going to be this one here. So that's the one I'm going to work with. And again, we're in the same situation. It's spreading it out over 3 pages. I know I can get this on 2. So I'm going to move these 2 pieces to the top and these to the bottom. And then I'm going to go to this mat and I'm going to bring these little squares to the first ivory mat that I'm working on. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab this second one and I'm going to move him also to this mat 3. And now I have them. So here I'm going to have to rotate this so that it will fit in our space. And there's kind of a couple different choices that we can do here. And I'm going to take him, I got to get him square. There we go, that makes me feel better. And I'm going to go ahead and place him there. And then I'm going to move these guys down because I want these right up here. I'm going to rotate this one so he is the opposite of that. Now, the thing you need to be aware of is when you're doing these rotations, especially working with patterned papers, you want to make sure that you're not changing it so that it comes out the wrong way with your paper. Now, I'm a scrap saver. I cut a lot out of scraps, and I know this is out of a specialty paper that I know I will do some extra things with. So I'm going to do just a tad bit more work so that I have a bigger scrap left. Yep, there we go. Got a hold of him. Get you back to perfectly square. And I'm going to square that one. And there we go. And now I know that I'm within that realm of the 6 inches, obviously, by my 8. So now I'm going to move on to the next mat, and I'm going to flip these this way so that they create that V at the bottom. And then I'm going to go to the last ivory mat, and I'm going to move this triangular piece to that mat, and I'm going to hit continue. And there we go. And again, I'm well within the range of my 8 inches here. So now we have an empty mat, and that will, as I said, go away. Now, again, as I mentioned, I am a paper miser. And so I also am working with a piece of red that is 9 inches by 12 inches. So again, this automatically has set this up to use 2 sheets of paper. And I am going to make this fit, instead of using 2 12 by 12 sheets of paper, I'm going to put it all on one 9 by 12 piece of paper. So just takes a little bit of manipulation, and I know it's kind of tedious, and I don't generally show all of this tedious work, but I want you to see how easy it actually is to move things around, and also to understand why it does what it does. Because here again is a perfect example. You see this triangle, it shows it as a full square. This is another full square. So as far as the program knows, these two cannot occupy the same space. But obviously we can see that it will. So now this one, to get it to work in the 9, I think I'm going to have to change the angle here. And that's perfect because it is 9 1/2 inches. So I have plenty of room there because that's just at 9 and probably an 8. So I am now down to just 1 of the white, 2 of that ivory, and 1 red piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and I'm going to send this to my maker. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these, and then I'll be back and show you how to assemble. Okay, I have all of my pieces laid out. Now what I do is I use the design on the canvas. So after I'm done cutting, I hit finish, and then it goes back to the canvas. And so then I lay out all of my pieces the way that they are on the canvas. And then I go back and glue my layers in place. So these are all glued in place and laid out so it looks like it does on the mat. Now, one of the things I want to address, and I'm hoping you can see this, is there's been some questions about whether the scoring wheel was overkill for some projects. This is cardstock. It is the Hobby Lobby brand. I bought some of the Hobby Lobby and some of the Joann's brand. I'm also going to pick up some Michaels and try them out, and then kind of give you some feedback as to what I think about each of them. This one from Hobby Lobby, it's okay. I don't know that I love it for a card base. So I would probably use something a little bit heavier. Now they do have a heavy cardstock. Next time I'm in Hobby Lobby, I'll pick that up. But you can see the scoring lines, and it definitely is an improvement over the scoring tool. And again, they are creased, they're nice. And then I use a bone folder to kind of get them so they have a nice sharp line. But these 2 tabs you're going to fold out, and we're going to crease that down, and then we're going to fold this kind of like a gatefold card. So we're going to fold it down the center line in half. Then we're going to fold these side ones in. So again, it's like a gatefold. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then this tab, you're also going to fold towards the center. And then lastly, we have this one fold. So everything except for those little flaps all get folded in towards the center, and then of course you fold the center. So that takes care of that piece. Now what eventually we're going to do is pull this together, and we're going to glue this together here, but we have some work to do in the meantime. This is the insert piece, and we're going to fold these little tabs away. And now we can go back and adhere all of our mats and layers to our card base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will be back. Okay, so now I have the mat and layers in place, and I want to show you how that looks. On the base card, this is with it folded so the inside is facing up. These two pieces go on the inside here. And these are the larger of these shaped pieces, and also they are set so that the layer piece is flush with the bottom and the outer edge, and then you still have your layering look along the inner edge and across the top. Then you're going to place two of the triangles here. They are all the same size. We're going to go ahead and close the card. Two more triangles go here, and the smaller mat and layer pieces that are centered go on the outside of the card. So then when we fold this down, we have it layered, and you don't really have to do this side. I do it because it just gives it a nice look. If it flips up, you can see it from the other side. So the next step is going to be to go ahead and put adhesive here on that tab. And I run a couple of lines. I want it to stay. And then I'm going to fold this closed and adhere it nicely. So now we have the box of the card complete. This piece that we have left over goes down inside. And we want it so that it gives us another layer inside of the card. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop some adhesive here on these tabs. And then we're going to go ahead and place this down inside of the card. So I hold on to the tabs and slide this in. And you want it so that it's centered and it's down a little bit, but you want to make sure that you have your card folded a little when you place this, so that when it is open, there is that dimension. So it's not exactly where I want it, and so I am going to have to move it around, but I did not press down, so therefore it is not stuck in place. And there is that. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop this card open a little bit, and then I'm going to stick down one side, give it a good press, and then again I'm going to open this card up, and I'm going to reach up inside, and I'm going to stick that other one in place. And now you see it sets out just a little bit from the back, but it's going to give it some nice dimension. So there is your card base, and then from there we're going to go ahead and decorate it. So give me a minute to assemble those pieces, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back to assemble our card. So I have some ivy pieces that I have cut and embossed and stamped. These are from dies. And then I also have some poinsettias that I cut out of a shiny red paper, which are also embossed, and then the center of the flowers are done in some gold metallic paper. Now, I like a lot of dimension. If I was mailing this, however, I would not use the foam dots on the back of these pieces, but because I am not going to mail this one, I did use the foam pieces. So first thing I'm going to do is this ivy. Now, I will tell you that I love the ivy, but I am not a fan of this little tendril that is poking off the top. So I'm going to make it go away. And I'm going to position this. I put a foam dot on the back of that leaf so that it gets some dimension. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this one. Yep, come on. There we go. And adhesive on the back of this one. And I'll go ahead and take that piece of paper off from there. And now I'm going to go ahead and slip this into place where I want it and tack it down. Give it a little push, and there is that one. And I honestly am probably going to end up even cutting this part off here because I'm not loving that either. So there. So don't hesitate to take what you have and then go ahead and customize it. Make it what you want it to be. And I want to stay kind of within the realm of this because I am going to put this in a box. So I don't want it to be a whole lot taller than the card. So again, I think I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to glue it in place and I'm going to remove everything above there. I kind of like that look. So let me get some adhesive on the back of these leaves over here. And we'll go ahead and slip this into place. And the fun thing with these cards is that it is truly all up to you how you want to do this, how you want to decorate them. I just try to show you some different ideas and things that I have personally done. But beyond that, it's really up to you and your imagination. So now we have the leaves in place, and I'm just going to go ahead and add these poinsettias that I've cut. I have a couple different size foam dots. This one is thicker, so it is going to lift it more than the other two. So I'm going to pop that one there, and I'm just going to go ahead and place these in. Now, generally, I work in odd numbers. That's kind of one of those pieces that studies have shown it is most appealing to the eye in odd numbers. And so I tend to try to stay there. And there we are. And there is the card. Now I'm going to add a sentiment. Now I have die cut a Merry Christmas sentiment. I don't know how I'm going to like it because I have not done one where I have spread it across the fold on this card. So I'm going to have to just play it out and see if I like it. And if not, I'm going to have to try to get this off without spoiling this card because I'm really liking it. I do like the white on white with that red layer. So, and I think this would be very pretty here. Trying to position it so that it folds in kind of a logical spot where it's not really, yeah, that's not working. Come on. I want it to fold between the letters so that it doesn't spoil them. There. There we go. We got Mary down. Okay. Now I did run this through the Xyron, and I have a love-hate relationship with the Xyron because it does leave some sticky outside of the parameter of where you generally want it. And I do save some of the backing because that is still about the best trick for lifting up any of that spray adhesive that is still there. And there is that. Now I do have a tiny little dot for the eye. And I'm going to grab my Tombow here and get some adhesive on it. And then I'm going to get my trusty tweezers to go ahead and grab it and place it. And there he is. Oh dear, I cut a gold one also, and then when I got it done I didn't love it, and evidently the dot from the gold was still layered in behind the red one. Let's try that again. Aha, there it is. Okay, so there is that. Now let's see how it does with a fold. Actually, not too bad. I don't hate it. I think that's gonna work. So there is another tuxedo card. I'll go ahead and put a box together and do a video on that as well for you. And I hope you enjoy making these beautiful cards as much as I do. Okay, I have all the pieces cut out and the base of the box is assembled. And then I have done the mats and layers and attached the outer edges of mats and layers on the box lid. I wanted to show you how I do the acetate in the cover of the box. So the black square on the file is for the acetate. And once I have created the mat and layer for the top of the box, I then go around the opening with my tape runner and put down adhesive all the way around this opening. And that's where I'm going to attach the acetate to. This way you cannot see the acetate from inside of the lid or from the outside. So I'm just going to square that up and press it down, and so there is the acetate. I have a little stray adhesive right here which will rub right off. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it over one more time, and I'm going to run my adhesive down all four sides to adhere this to the top, and that's the final step in decorating our box. I may add a sentiment to it on the outside. Just want to get this centered and then press it down. And so now that's all decorated, and I have used two-sided tape here. I find that this one type of two-sided tape holds these boxes together very well. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel that paper off and finish assembling this box. One more corner here. And then this will be the perfect presentation box for the card. Now the file does include an envelope, so if you choose to mail these cards, I recommend you go a little bit flatter with your embellishments, and then you will be able to go ahead and slip it in an envelope. But otherwise, there it is in the presentation box, all set and ready to go. All I need to do are cut the sentiment panels for the back, and then I may actually cut another poinsettia to place on the front. The other thing I wanted to point out is after it was complete, I know I said I work in odd numbers, generally I do, but I didn't like this white space down inside of the card, so I went ahead and cut a fourth poinsettia and layered it in here at the base so that it is a much fuller look. So I hope you enjoy this file and find ways to use it for every occasion on your list.